Harris could win the popular vote, but lose in the Electoral College.
Okay, so basically, you note that 2.5-point lead nationally here, right? Okay, Harris's chances, if she wins the popular vote by 2 to 3 points, the chance she wins the Electoral College is only 53%. The bottom line is, once you have to get all the way north to about 3 to 4 points for Harris to have a clear chance, the clear majority chance of winning the Electoral College. If she only wins by less than 2, look at that. Only a 23% chance of winning. Right now, Harris is right now in that danger zone where basically about half the time, given that popular vote margin nationally, she would win. And so here's the situation. Chance Harris wins the popular vote at this point is about 70%, but the chance she wins the Electoral College is only about 50%. So the bottom line is, at this hour, John, there's about a 20% chance that Kamala Harris wins the popular vote, but actually loses in the Electoral College. So we could be heading towards one of these splits that we saw in 2016 and in 2000, whereby one candidate, Kamala Harris, wins in the popular vote, but loses in the Electoral College. Basically, at this hour, we're right in that sort of weird middle zone where we honestly don't know what's going to happen based upon the popular vote. And that is why those national polls that show Kamala Harris ahead, at this point, really don't matter that much.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about Kamala Harris support, okay? Is everybody and their mom going to come out and vote for Joy in a new way forward? Is everybody going to come out and say, if we fight, we win? Well, I got bad news for the Kamala supporters, for the Kamala camp, that it's not looking good, okay? It's looked like she's cooked as it relates to the Electoral College. Most people agree on that, even if they claim that she's ahead in some polls. So this CBS reporter, okay, y'all know, if y'all know anything about CBS, 100% biased coverage, negative coverage against Trump, positive coverage against Harris. CBS reporter went out and unfortunately had to get some positive coverage for Trump because majority of people look like they're supporting him rather than cackling, lying, wannabe black Kamala. Take a look.
What issue is most important to you?
I'm extremely concerned about the border.
Illegals, they gotta go.
People are coming here seeking asylum.
Baloney. They're coming here for the freebies.
When people talk about immigration, they're thinking we're saying we don't want immigrants of any kind, and that's not what people are saying. People are saying that there are people who have come here legally. Why do they get pushed aside to allow people who have not even worked one day in our country, have not paid into the system?
I took my brisket and mac and cheese with me to catch Ken Lasker with a to-go order.
How closely are you watching this election?
Oh, very closely.
He was the only Harris supporter we met at lunch, even though Washoe County has historically been pretty politically split.
Join you?
Leanne and Stephen Schaefer were first to arrive and say they can't wait to vote.
I want someone who's strong, who demands respect and who gets the respect, and who can deal with foreign leaders. I think Trump's the guy.
There's so much going on throughout the world, in this country as well. But do you remain hopeful about America?
I tell you, I've never owned a gun in my life, and I own 4 of them now.
Really?
Yes. I fear for our country.
We had so much fun, but what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant, and we left no stone unturned. I approached every single person.
The crazy thing about a lot of these polls is like, it's hard to even find these polls. It's like, you gotta like look for them. It's like, who the hell is taking these polls? Like, there's definitely oversampling, because if you look at the 2016 election, they said that Hillary was gonna win for sure, because she basically was up. She was up like, and sometimes like 10 freaking points, like sometimes like a dozen points. It was crazy, but it didn't make no sense. And then she still lost. That's why I think that was the most shocking election ever for a lot of people, especially around my age, because everybody kind of thought Hillary was gonna win, but she didn't. Joe Biden was up even further in the polls, and he narrowly won. So Kamala Harris is real close, and I would say it's just not looking good for her. The reality of the situation is Kamala Harris has to be like far and away ahead in order to beat Trump, and she's not there. And a lot of people believe that she just doesn't have any path forward. As a matter of fact, on Dr. Phil's show, a bunch of voters reacted after the debate, and they were saying, She really didn't talk about policy, and they were disappointed, and they also felt like it was biased.
Raise your hand if the border's a big issue. Okay. Who won the debate about the border tonight? If you think that Kamala Harris had the strongest position on the border tonight, raise your hand. 4 of you. Well, if you think President Trump had the strongest position on the border, raise your hand.
I actually think that it wasn't fair for the exact opposite reason. I think that Trump was actually thinking versus Kamala kept speaking over him in the alternate light. So.
Okay. And how about the moderators? Do you think they were being fair?
I don't, just because I feel like Trump kept getting asked harder questions versus Kamala kind of got thrown softballs, easier to answer.
Okay. How many of you agree with that aspect? Oh, wow. That's almost everybody. Well, not everybody, but 75% of you. Okay. All right.
But I still didn't get answers. I didn't get answers to fundamental questions that we need to know as voters. And we just keep getting circled around that.
Like what? What did you not get an answer to?
Her economic plans. What is an opportunity economy? I came into this with an open mind. I really wanted Vice President Harris to hit it out of the park. I don't think she did. I think she did better than some people expected her to. The cackle was not there. I kept waiting for it, and it didn't come. What does that mean? Who's paying for the tax cuts that she's proposing? Because in my opinion, giving people down payment assistance on houses just drives inflation up higher. So I don't think that we got to the meat and potatoes of the things that really matter. And we know from Donald Trump's presidency before, he can fix the economy. So who's paying for all of these child tax credits? That's just the taxpayers coming out of pocket and hurting the middle class again. I was really looking for her to make an impact on my thought process tonight, and she didn't deliver that.
All right. How many of you agree that you heard kind of buzzwords, but not real substance tonight? Raise your hand. They're going to watch this. They're going to say, Dr. Phil had a bunch of independents down there and asked some meaningful questions. They're going to watch this. I want to see that you all say, we heard buzzwords, we heard names of bills, but we didn't hear any substance.
Looking at the big picture, I'm sure the Kamala Harris campaign knows about this. That's why they want another debate. That's why they got her out here doing press conferences now, because the whole hide her strategy, they realize, is the momentum for that fizzled out a while ago. So there is some people kind of consistently in her camp. That's the hardcore radical leftist. But as it relates to the independent voter, you know, the people who are inevitably going to decide this election, especially across all these swing states, that is very much up in the air. And as you can see, it's really not looking good for cackling Kamala Harris. Okay, like it's all the making stupid faces and, you know, just, I don't know, just having these stupid laughs during the debate and, you know, hiding under the closet or in the closet under the bed and, you know, not doing interviews. Like all of this stuff is backfiring dramatically. No policies until like a week ago. They just posted the policies last week. And it's like, guys, the fact that it's even this close is astounding, considering the fact that these people are trying to shut people's ability to have free speech on the internet off. They're trying to censor social media. They've done it before during Joe Biden's administration, early on in his administration, and they're trying to do it more. They're trying to remove TikTok, trying to remove the X platform. They're trying to make it where you don't have true control over your body as it relates to vaccination, right? These people are radical. That Afghanistan withdrawal was abysmal. The prices are too high. And the border is open as hell. It's still open. It's just like less open than it was before via executive order, but it's still open, which means that there's more inflation. There's more resources being taken up by illegal immigrants, and they're trying to make all of them legal so that they can vote in federal elections, effectively nullifying the vote of millions of Americans who have a birthright to it, who had a right and been paying taxes and respecting the Constitution their entire lives. The radical left don't care anything about that. Kamala Harris doesn't either. That's why her support is lacking, because people just aren't buying what she's selling. Imagine somebody trying to sell you a car, but no, you can't test drive it. Just take a look on the outside, look at this nice shiny coat of paint, pay us the down payment, drive off with it. You're stuck with this loan afterward. You can't get out of this loan now. You can't get out of it. You're stuck with it. And you can't sit inside it. You can't drive the car. And then as soon as you drive that bitch off the lot, it just, all the damn wheels fall off. The engine falls out. And you're like, hey, I want my money back. And they're like, too late, fools. As a matter of fact, we're increasing your interest rate. You owe us more money. Good luck paying that off. That's what literally is happening. They're going to increase the inflation. The interest rates are already high on credit cards, housing, basically everything, vehicles, right? This is not a good situation for any American to be in right now. And that's what people need to think about. And that's what it looks like people are thinking about. The ones who don't have severe TDS care about their pocketbook in their wallets, as they should. Kamala Harris is looking like her goose is going to be cooked this November. Be sure to get out there and early vote. Make sure these radical leftists are defeated, and defeated soundly once and for all. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
In every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter.